On the Range podcast. On the Range.
Yeah, buddy. It's our annual 4th of July episode. Welcome back to another episode of On the Range podcast. I am Mark Kelley, and as always, I am joined by my co-host and friend from Hogg Tactical, Rick Hogg. How's it going, buddy?
Man, Mark, it's going great. To my fellow Americans, happy 4th of July, our Independence Day, where we gained our freedom, which is quickly, this day and age, being crushed by this oppressive administration we're in. But really, guys, want to thank you for giving us your most precious commodity. Do me a favor, man. If you guys haven't read this cool book, United States, I mean, I always pop that thing up. There we go. See if we can get it closer for the viewers. It just doesn't. There we go. Kind of in focus.
Yeah.
Guys, if you haven't read the Constitution, read it. Fantastic read. It's not a living, breathing document. Our founding forefathers wrote this thing. Men were far ahead of their time. I mean, these guys were, in my opinion, geniuses. The words they put on that paper, give it a read. It's got some fantastic stuff. And it's amazing if you read that bad boy, how much your rights are being oppressed right now. So when November comes around, make sure you do the right thing and fix it. On a sidebar note, do a little bit of housekeeping, guys. Hey, don't forget, swing by warhog.com, kellydefense.com, sign up for those newsletters. Trust me, we will not inundate you with a bunch of junk. I think Mark does a little bit better job getting his newsletters out there. I'm a little more, hey, let's kind of get a bigger piece of pie together and launch it out there. But yeah, man, just a better way to keep you guys kind of up to date as far as what we got going on. I know as far as the Warhog side, unless you're on LinkedIn, you're probably not going to find us out there or on the other social channels because, again, suppression, oppression, whatever word, censorship. There's all kinds we can go into, right? Even though these big tech platforms should be held liable under constitutional law because the federal government told them to do things, i.e. they're state actors, but we won't open up that Pandora's box on this day of freedom. We shall celebrate the very freedom that we have. Of course, we got Old Glory and it's grandioso behind us. So there you go. But no, really, guys, it's a day to be proud to be Americans, celebrate the freedoms we have, the things we do, because yes, we still do live in the greatest country in the world. But I would tell you this, when you look at that flag, I would tell you to pause, enjoy that hamburger, hot dog, cold drink, whatever tasty beverage you're drinking. But when you look at that flag, remember those red lines represent the blood of your fellow Americans that gave you the freedom to enjoy what you're doing on this very Independence Day. So,
yep.
Yeah, that was kind of my spiel. I think the one last bit of housekeeping notes, Mark, before I forget. Patrons, you guys have been catching some early live access. If you're sitting there going, Rick, what are you talking about this patron stuff? So our OTR Patreon crew membership, free to join. However, if you want the all access 100+ training videos, bi-monthly Zoom call with me and Mark, you're gonna have to pick one of the tier, the top tier rating we have. Oh, by the way, if you're law enforcement, don't worry about it. We got a special one for you guys because we love you guys, what you're doing, want to support you. Know that you don't get paid the best. So just our way to tip the hat back to you guys for your support. You can either go to warhog.com, kellydefense.com. Again, you'll find the links for the OTR Patreon crew page, or you can swing by patreon.com/on the range podcasts and become a member of the crew. So
yeah,
be that 1% better every single day, brother. So
yeah,
that's what it's all about.
And as always, this episode is brought to you by the Firearms Training Notebook. Right now, we have another pre-sale of the Spiral Bound Edition. Again, just go to kellydefense.com and you can pick that up. It is something that will make you 1% better every day in your firearms journey. It will help you track your progression. If you're not measuring it, you can't track it, Rick. And this is going to help you do it. And it's going to make you more efficient at planning your next dry fire or live fire training session. And it does, the proof's in the pudding. It absolutely works. And, speaking about the crew, they are live right now. They are viewing this as we are recording it, and it is on the crew members page, and they can shoot us messages. They can make fun of us. They can ask us questions. They can do whatever they want. And it's just another way for us to engage with that crew membership. It really is growing. And if you want to be a part of it and you want to be around and speak with and hear from and talk with like-minded individuals, there's nothing more reaffirming and therapeutic about that when you know you're doing something that everybody else around you seems like they're not doing. And then all of a sudden you immerse yourself into a group of folks who are doing the exact same thing, trying to be better, getting up early, getting after it before work, and all these other crazy things that are crazy nowadays. And you're hanging around the same people that are doing the exact same thing. It's something about it that is, we're really proud of it, and we want you to be a member. So go to the websites and check that out. And, we do this every year. We usually talk about the hot dog eating contest, but I heard some news. I don't know if it's true. I haven't confirmed it. But our guy, world's greatest athlete, Joey Jaws Chestnut, is not going to be in the hot dog eating contest this year. That's what I heard. Yep, I heard that. He's not going to be in Queens. He's not going to be on the boardwalk. He's not going to be engaged in that. And the issue with that is some kind of a contract with one of his other endorsements or something. I don't know. That's what I heard. I hope I'm wrong about that, but we're going to find out later, this day, and we'll see if we can't view Joey Jaws Chestnut. And if he does, we always have an episode to rehash that event. Probably one of greatest events in sports you're going to see all year. I don't care if it's the Olympics. Joey Jaws Chestnut is a legend.
Think about it. My man, what he cranked down, was it
71 or something? Yeah. Yeah. And bun.
Well, and bun, right? But it's not your classic eating hot dogs like we think about, right? Like they take the buns, they put them in there, they do craziness, right? And I forget, one year we looked up how much fat a Nathan's hot dog had, right?
Dude.
And I'm just thinking to myself, if it was me, let's just say hypothetically, right? Let's and I'm using probably super low numbers. It's got to have what? 20 grams, 30 grams of fat.
Dude.
Right?
Yeah, not to mention the caloric number that we're talking.
Oh, dude. Let's just say each dog. And again, I wish I'd brought the wrapper, but let's say each dog's 100 calories, just a dog, right? And then you throw the buns in there. The buns got to be close to another 100, right? So my man's cranking in like in one sitting almost 15,000 calories, right? Within 10 minutes,
dude.
Right? Ingesting all that fat, dude. I'd get 3 dogs of me, probably 4, and I'm sitting there probably on the corner puking my guts out just because my body's going to be like, yo, dummy, what are you doing? So yeah, it's comical, man, because you sit there and you go, dude, my man's got some athletic skills to suck down them dogs. And he's not a big old boy.
Dude.
I mean, he's big, but he's not like some of these guys that are just like beer belly-esque. So,
dude, remember that protester last year rushed the stage and he threw him away and he's still sucking down hot dogs at the same time?
Yeah.
Dude, I got three words for you, America. Athlete. Joey Jaws Chestnut. It's like 270 calories in a hot dog in bun. And he's doing 71, something like that. And that girl too.
Oh, dude.
That girl, man, not even close.
What'd she put down? Like 50 or something?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous. And Badlands, Big Badlands, he's always a good entertainer. He's the one who wins the doesn't he do the pink lemonade challenge or something like that and just crushes that?
I think he is.
Sucks it down like half a second or something crazy. It's amazing. Anyway, but how sick is that though? You're in America and you have something as spectacular as that.
There you go.
And we're going to have a little bit of fun too, laughing at all those. I love the celebrities and all these other folks who are going to leave if a certain individual is elected president.
Oh my God.
First of all, they never do it. They never do it.
Not a one has done it that I know of. Why would they? Where are you going to go? Right? Because here's the problem with these celebs. People pay them too much people give them too much credit, right? They're another human being. And especially when you look at the celebs coming out of Hollywood, the majority of these cats, flawed, right? Now, I'm not being judgmental.
Sure.
I'm not being judgmental. I'm just going to just talk. So let's talk about one of my favorite individuals that's recently come to light. We kind of knew what she was doing behind the scenes. Although Oprah Winfrey, right?
Hmm.
Everyone loves Oprah. Oh, she's Miss Weight Watchers this, although I don't know why it wasn't working for her, but hey, I'm not going to get into her business, right? No judging here. Just stating facts. Hangs out with some spiritual leader. Not quite sure what that dude does, right? But he peddles kids. In turn, the link to her, she's being peddled or being shown to peddle her kids, her little African camp peddling kids. Displays kids in Hawaii being peddled, getting hooked up with Disney, right? It's all this peddling, all these pedos. So really, when you think about it, and these people are listening, these celebrities, dude, they're dirty birds, man. Dirty birds. Now, I'm not saying all of them are, but you know what? I'm going to classify them as a generality. Hollywood, dirty birds, man. If you listen to one iota of what those people are telling you, you're a fool. You should draw your own conclusions, not draw your basis what these other morons have to tell you. And again, I'm going to keep going back to it. If you have not read the Constitution of the United States, read it. It's a short read, small book. Even comes in the pocket size, right? I mean, not even comparable to the Firearms Training Notebook in size, right? Smaller. But I'm telling you, give it a read. It's absolutely incredible what you'll find in that document. I'm just gonna say a couple words that our founding forefathers put in there that's still amazing to this day. Shall not be infringed. Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. They should have put that, when I originally was kind of, looking at the document, I was like, man, these guys messed up. 2 should have been 1, 1 should have been 2. Should have had shall not be infringed across the board. And man, here recently, I've realized with all this big tech power and all this suppression, 1 is 1. It's got every right to be 1, and two's back there supporting 1, supporting them all. But man, I think we should have put shall not be infringed on 1 as well, because brother, we're at a day and age that did you see that one lady? I think she was flying United. She got a young baby and said something to the dude that was a they or a she or something.
Misgendered.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Whatever. Jackhole. And then gets booted off the flight. I'm like, dude, she'll be owning United Airline. Absolutely. This people, we have to stand up, right? So yes, everyone's entitled to free speech, and I'm all about free speech to an extent. And here's my extent. You can sit there and go do your free Palestine. You can do whatever you want, right? Obviously, you don't know your history, but that's here nor there, you ignorant people. However, as soon as you go, I'm Hamas, you've just admitted you're a terrorist. People could, convey that as a threatening action. There's people that understand what these terrorist organizations do. And you're going to be an ignorant American and say, I'm Hamas, and don't think there's going to be some repercussions.
Yeah.
Just think about it, right? It's kind of like the old fire in the movie theater type deal. It's like, come on, people, pull your heads out your fourth point of contact and think about what you got going on. So, yeah.
Well, another thing too is any one of those things that they seem to think that they can do on campuses or whatever, that would never fly almost anywhere else other than this great country here. And it just makes me laugh that, these elitists and I put a post on or I commented on a post. It was some professor of something. It was absolutely ridiculous. Maybe it was gender studies or something like that. And they're talking about how terrible this country is. I said, lady, you are a tenured professor at an Ivy League school, probably making a very, very good salary, doing absolutely nothing. Where else are you going to do that? Where else?
Nowhere.
And you're bashing the place that allows you to do nothing and say dumb stuff and teach something that a kindergarten knows, or someone who knows before they even get anywhere near a school, the difference between these things. And you're telling me that this is a terrible country? Hey, I tell you what, I'll take your job. You want to trade?
Here's a better one.
You want to go stand on a street corner and guard a bunch of people who are trying to rip down a statue of 100 years ago. No one really knows who it is anymore. No. Or I can go into your nice little library office and talk about gender studies. I'll trade in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Here's one for you. If this country is so terrible, right? And all these people, whether it's your, people going, oh, you got white privilege. Oh, you oppressive American. Oh, you whatever. You don't like it, pack your crap. Go beat it.
Yeah.
Leave. Right? Yeah. Quit spewing, especially at these universities. Quit spewing your hatred, because that's in essence what it is, towards this country. If you don't like it, leave. Why are you still here? Right. And that's the underlying part that amazes me, is you look at these college campuses and it's global, right? So I saw one, my man, I forget where he was. My man was over in the UK, same crap, having a freaking Palestinian party, whatever they were doing, right? Which these people don't even know. I put a video out on LinkedIn. Watch what Palestine was doing September 11th. Go check that one out, you dopes, right? They're out there having a party in the streets, giving kids the candy, right? And it just kills me because, yes, you've got the right, and that's the beauty with this country. However, you bunch of morons is all I got to say. It's like, don't know your cause. If it were me and I was a college student, I might want to sit there and maybe get my peeps together and go, hey, why don't we talk about these prices of what it takes to get a higher education? Oh, yeah, that's right. All of us paid for them via the Biden administration. Yeah. It was funny. Jesse Waters had one on there. My man got some PhD in like music, nothing, right? But basically accumulated $250,000 worth of student loans. We paid it off. We paid it off for him. Thanks there, Brandon. Appreciate it. That's the part where I get frustrated as an American, right? Nobody rides for free. You got to put something back to this country. I mean, JFK had some fantastic, powerful words. Not ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. And brother, we have since drifted far away from that. We still do live in the greatest country in the world, without a doubt. The sacrifices that's been giving, absolutely incredible. But man, our compass bearing is broke. It's time to DX that thing. We got to get a fresh compass, man, because we got to get back on azimuth, because we are not heading that way as the greatest country. So,
yeah. I mean, it's so sick that in a good way, that it's like just the sickest thing to be able to go down to your local sporting goods and buy everything you need to go shoot some clay pigeons. Pretty sick, right? Nowhere else can you do that.
No,
nowhere.
No. I mean,
and besides this, despite, popular belief, people aren't just out there, doing ill will with it. There's the number is astronomical, and we're talking about a little bit of a fraction of the population that's doing some dumb things. And the only reason why we've been able to hang on as long as we have, this republic and this democracy, is because of that. That's the sole reason. That's the only reason.
Well, I think we're in uncharted waters too. We've never seen the country the way it is right now. Like, we've never seen political opponents being oppressed by our very own DOJ, which,
Mhm.
you know, it's mind-boggling when you look at this administration, when you look at the cabinet, and either how bought these people are or how ignorant these people are. And, you know, you look at Mayorkas, for example, dude, you can't tell me for a minute that dude thinks all these, and I've heard the number is close to 30 million now. I don't even know if anyone really knows the true number. The millions of illegals that's crossed this country, illegally cross the southern border, right? Who thinks that's a good idea? Right? Like it blows my mind that he can even sit there and go, "Yep." And then you got Garland, who's an absolute moron, right? Won't answer
Oh, dude.
a simple yes or no question, right? And to me, that dude's dirtier than dirty. But when all these cats, you know, when you got the DOJ going after Trump, for what? Because you're afraid of him? Because he's a political opponent? I mean, we
Yeah.
look like a third world, you know, puppet republic, man. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we need to get some direction back as Americans. Again, people need to read the Constitution of the United States to really understand what's going on. And we need to get that, I hate to say it, that September 12th patriotism back, because we were all USA, all this other stuff. And man, how have we gotten to where we're at today? You know, it's just, it's mind boggling that we've almost lost a sense of our American identity. What's it? What was the latest one I heard? Well, maybe it was to the Christians. I don't know. You got, I don't know if it was radical Christians or extreme Christians, or I know you got your MAGA, your ultra MAGAs or whatever. Like they're plugging all these different names. Man, MAGA, make America great again. And that's some crazy.
That's bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad. Really?
That's bad. Well, I think this wildly out of control entitlement is a big part of it. For some reason, someone somewhere thinks that they are owed something. Man, you aren't owed anything except for somebody to make sure that they're protecting the borders. That's one.
Yeah.
The sovereignty of this nation,
mm-hmm.
and to ensure that you are treated equally. Now, that doesn't mean if someone works harder than you and you don't like the way they look or what ethnicity they are,
mm-hmm.
and they do better than you, man, then work harder. These folks, everybody gets a trophy crap is really starting to catch up. It's really starting to catch up. And that's really what it boils down to. Well, I should be getting that too. Well, but you didn't do what was required to earn that.
Yeah.
That should be a hard no. Well, and that's not where we're at right now.
Yeah. And I want to circle back with one thing. So we are entitled to this: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. But getting back to your trophy deal, we're watching this trophy deal go so bad. You have dudes that can't perform now sitting there doing a little tucky tuck going, well, I'm a chick. Right. And I've got to say this. The Olympic Committee told old Will Thomas, pack his bags. He ain't participating as a chick. Said, hey, dude, take your dangler and beat it. You can't swim with the boys. Oh, that's right. Because you stink. And I'm going to tell you this. Those girls are going to take UPenn. They're going to take UPenn to the they're going to take them and clean house with them. What they were exposed to, old Will, in the same locker room, right? Yeah. He still has all his plumbing attached out there, just swinging it in front of these girls' face. That is not within the confines of life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, right? That's exploitation right there. And that's criminal. And you can sit there and take all your trophy winning garbage, and that's what you get is this day and age, dudes that can't compete going, oh, let me go beat up girls. Damn, dummy. You know,
Yeah.
where do we go? Where do we go next? I don't know.
I don't know, but you know,
Yeah.
hats off to a lot of the student athletes at Penn, and hats off to the women's swimming team who said, "Hey, look, if he's here, I ain't going to be here." And you're talking about legends in the sport who have been doing it for several Olympic cycles, and good for them. I think that had a lot to do with it because they're like,
I think the Olympics, I think the Olympic Committee did this, right? Because if you sit there and let these dudes compete with chicks, you've just totally crushed. You don't have Olympics anymore, right? You might as well just take those 5 circles, zip them in half, chuck them in the water, because your ship's done. You'll never be looked at as any type of legitimate sport.
Well, the International Olympic Committee let that dude from New Zealand compete as a woman in the clean and jerk or whatever the hell it was, and I don't think he made it past the qualifying round or something. He didn't, but that's beside the point.
Yeah,
you know, it's somebody had the smarts, or they were forced into it by the athletes. I don't care what the reason is. That's some weak ass BS. That's weak. NCAA was the same way. They didn't want to kind of, we'll just leave it up to individual school. What do you mean? What about the conferences? What about the regionals and all this other stuff? I mean, nobody. And they were so terrified, Rick, and they were afraid to lose their jobs. And look, I'm not going to say that they didn't make the right decision that was best for their family, because look, most people aren't retired like us, and we're past that point. I get it, but nobody. That one dad of one of those Penn University students, he did a great job too. So, yeah, man, you're right. It's terrible, and you would think that. How hard is that decision, dude? That is the easiest decision that I've ever heard of.
You're a dude, go beat it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
sorry, Johnny.
Hey, Will,
men's room's over there.
Swimming. Hey, Will, you ain't swimming with the girls,
right? How hard is that?
Go pack up your plumbing, and you can't hang with the boys. Yeah, dude, go find another sport or go sweep the floors or do something, right? But go beat it. Totally sidebar 180 out on the whole part, but it boils down, right? Not that I'm a fan of it, but we do have some incredible freedoms in this country, and I think going back to it can be dangerous because we got this whole entitlement and people crossing over like old Will trying to swim with the girls, but we need to get some things back in check, because let's be an honest broker. Ladies weren't always looked at as full citizens in this country. Little over 100 years they've been able to vote. They couldn't vote from the get-go, right? So it's, why would you give all that up, ladies? And you're the majority in this country.
Well, here it's almost like, well, now women, someone or some group or the society itself feels now that women are equal, right? So now they need someone who's even more marginalized, air quotes, to raise up and to help them be equal too. Dude, this isn't the hill. It's still a dude. This is not the hill to die on. And people are tired of it. Yeah. People are absolutely tired of it.
It's a simple chromosome thing, man. Yeah. There's only 2 to pick. That's it. I mean, sorry, you got no other choices. You're either a dude or a chick, right? There's you might be confused, right? You might need some mental health help.
Dude, you can do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
That's the beauty of it. This is America. You can live as anybody or anything as you want. I don't care.
Yep.
Until you start affecting others.
Well, until you start affecting others, in the essence of, well, now you're going to sit there and go, well, you can't say that about them because that's offensive. Well, says who?
Compelled speech. That's what that is. Compelled speech. Yeah.
This whole balancing act, right? So cool, dude. You want to wear a dress. And if I want to laugh at you, I can laugh at you, right? Because, dude, you're a dude wearing a dress. But hey, you can do what you want. I mean, we're both entitled to our opinions on that aspect, right? You want to wear the dress? I want to chuckle. Cool, dude.
Yeah.
but we've gotten so away from it. We've gotten so far from what our rights are that, oh, it can only be one-sided. And you got people walking literally like they're trying to tiptoe on eggshells about the words they say. Dude, I'm tired of hearing migrants. They're not migrants. They're illegal aliens, right? Or just call them illegals. Quit tap dancing around all these politically correct words. Call it for what it is, because you just cheat yourself. You cheat either your viewers, listeners, whoever's trying to get information from you, and quit letting the machine tell you what to say. The truth is the truth. The news is the news, right? It should be pretty black and white. Under that whole, again, going back to the first and freedom of speech. But man, we want to give that thing up, and dangerous road. Old Mr. Zuckerberg, I think he should be hung from the yardarm for his oppression of free speech. I give my hats off to Elon for trying to bring Twitter back, but haven't really seen that be all, I think
it's probably one of the safer spaces as well as Rumble, but dude,
again,
I just don't get it. I just don't do it, man. We concentrate, for the most part on the crew members, the newsletter subscribers, the listeners and viewers of this podcast, which are they're freaking awesome. Over 500 episodes, dude, unbelievable. And we wouldn't be able to do this because at some point it would start being diminishing return on how much it costs to run this production, even though it's small, you know. We love all those men and women and those young people that are watching our stuff and letting us do this, man. Like I said, this country is freaking amazing, man. Just think about that. You made a good point. 75 years ago, most people probably didn't even have cold showers. I mean, if you think about it. Yeah. I mean, that's how, and now, dude, all these luxuries and all these things we have, and I think it's making a lot of people soft.
Oh, dude, 100%. I mean, think about this, Mark, right? Think about this. You hit the nail on the head. Greatest country in the world, right? There's nothing we can't do. You have the opportunity to do whatever you want, right? Why wouldn't everybody want that? But then in turn, it's like you don't want to put the effort forward. We got this whole entitled. And I'm a firm believer. I will tell you this till the day I die. It's that stupid magic box putting propaganda right in people's heads that I think, looking back in society, we're going to go, that was the downfall. Because ever since the intro of the old quote unquote smartphone, which has actually made you dumb phone, dude, young people spending 5+ hours on social media. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Could you imagine? Let's think about this. Could you imagine if I had added, or you had added 5 hours a day? Man, if I had a 29-hour day, dude, crushing it. Or somehow magically I got 3 hours of sleep and those 5 jumped on, and that was my 8 hours of sleep. And I'm like, I'm ready to go. Dude, what I would do to have that time. I mean, it's just, I don't get it. How much more productive could you be? How much physically fitter could you be? How many more books could you have read? How many more rounds could you have shot? More dry fire practice in there, more whatever, right? But instead, they're letting their little bodies get all chubby, and they're just sitting there and their brains going to mush. And I'm just like, God,
dude, opportunity is such a great word to describe what is possible here. And, you can do you can choose any field, any trade, anything you want. Pick something, become really good at it, and go out there in the world and make a living. I mean, anybody can do that. Or start a business, find a problem that you can solve it with your product or with your service, and go after it. Dude, I saw something that it was kind of like a service that they had for pastures. You ever seen all these people that go out there and pick up pastures and clean them up so that they can swap them out? They do that for yards for dogs and stuff now. And this guy's killing it. This guy is absolutely killing it. dude, there's a problem out there. He solved it and he's capitalizing on it. That's what this country's about, man.
Dude.
And anybody that says, "Oh, I wouldn't want to do that," well, that's why he's going to make $1 gazillion.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's going to have 17 trucks or something like that now.
Yeah.
I was like, good for you, bud. Good for you. Unbelievable. America.
That's the part, Mark, right? It's excuse me. People don't get. You have the opportunity. The opportunity. The key word being opportunity. You have the opportunity for whatever. The question of the hour is, are you going to execute? I mean, let's rewind the tape, brother. Let's just do a quick recap. Who would have ever thought, right? So let's go back to the 80s. And if we were sitting there in 1505 PIR, 82nd Airborne Division, going, hey, man, I'm going to be a podcaster. Never thought it, right? I'm going to be an author. Never thought it, right? I'm going to be a business owner. Wasn't really crossing my mind back then, right? I mean, the opportunities, do stuff for nonprofit. I mean, the opportunities are absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, my fellow Americans, you all, every single one of you listening to our voices, you've got that opportunity. If you're sitting there going, man, I hate my job. I'm telling you this, my boss, that dude, biggest pain in my rear. But boy, I love that guy. I love that guy like nobody's business, right? Dude, be your own boss. I will always advocate for small business. I will always advocate for people doing their own thing. And like you said, Mark, you got to grind. It's work.
It's work.
But you can crush it, man. You can crush it. And I'll just say this. Don't put your eggs in the social basket, because that thing will come crashing down. Because depending what you want to do, Zuck might sit there. Like Zuck's latest thing is he doesn't like my profile. I don't know, profile wording or something goes against that. What? Because I said I got deactivated by IG. Okay, Zuck, whatever, dude. I'm so over that. I'm so over that meta. So, yeah,
man. Well, I don't know who said, I can't remember, but it was something like, most people do not achieve their goals or dreams because it's wearing overhauls and it looks like work. And that's so true.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, dude.
And now you got the opportunity to go out there and do whatever. I don't care if it's painting by numbers. Do it and be good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great show though, man.
Get your stuff out there, dude. Greatest country in the world. Greatest country in the world. But again,
close.
It goes back to our fellow American patriots that shed their very blood.
Yep.
For us to have the freedoms that we have, our founding fathers that scribed an incredible document, and this constitutional republic that we live in gives us these very rights to do such as we do. And trust me, if you have the title American, you have the most important gift, in my opinion, that anyone can bestow upon you. End of story.
Hit the lottery. Hit the lottery.
Yes, sir.
By being born here. You better believe it, folks.
Yep.
Anyway, great show, Rick. Crew members stand by over at the crew members page. The show continues for them. Always does.
Yes, it does.
4th of July, man. I'm hoping I'm wrong about Joey Chestnut. I'm hoping I'm wrong. And tomorrow at 1:00, I get to watch him suck down at least 70 more hot dogs. But I'm pretty sure that he might not be in it. Might not be in it. I think he's got more titles than anybody in any
13,
form of sports. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well,
crazy.
We shall see.
Yeah. Plus, he could throw those hands, man. He threw that protester right off the stage. Never missed a beat.
Didn't miss it. Hoss.
So,
bam.
Hoss, man. Yep. All right, brother. Everybody, be safe. You want to go ahead and close it up, Rick?
You know it, buddy. So to all my fellow Americans, happy 4th of July. I'm going to say this. God bless these here United States of America. You guys train hard, stay safe, and we'll see you on the range.
On the Range Podcast.